Welcome everyone. I'm Andrew Hero, today enjoyed by Pink, and this is the Shut Your Mouth Lounge episode 222. W has been eaten.
Eaten. He's been disposed of temporarily, most
Yes,
likely. He might be back next week. We never know.
we'll see. He might still fight his way out from the thing that ate him, which we can't
Right.
tell you what actually ate him because it's a
It's
federal secret.
classified.
Yeah,
So classified that even we don't know yet.
it was Jar Jar.
Jar
So yeah, Pink, is anything coming out on your channel this week?
I did some recording with Mike and Alex and Soon the other day because we were all playing Dead by Daylight together. So I need to edit that though, which could take some time because I was playing in the living room slash kitchen area. So there's definitely points where I had to mute myself on the Discord because of background chatter, but didn't mute myself on OBS. So I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
cut
yeah.
those parts out.
You can set it up so OBS and Discord use the same hotkey to mute and unmute.
I can do that. I didn't think ahead because didn't start in the kitchen living room area. I was in my living room, then I moved over to the kitchen area
Ah,
and didn't set up any hotkeys or anything like that. So while I can hit a hotkey to mute myself on the Discord, OBS has like a hotkey set up to start and end recording, and that's it.
yeah, I'm just saying for future reference, you can just use the same hotkey in both, and then if you're pressed into OBS, then it will mute both.
Yeah.
My accent has been really inconsistent lately, so yeah, I'm gonna pronounce things weird for a bit.
That's fine.
So yeah, is that all you're uploading? That by the
That
I think
should
it
be everything I've
yeah.
got.
Well, on my end, um, maybe something. I don't know. I have two videos in production, but I've slipped on the schedule because I didn't feel like it, and I've just overall had a not great 2 weeks. So
Mm,
because it's my scheduled like once every couple of months, like low tide of depression, which means that I can't fucking do anything because hey, that's good. That's great, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
I love feeling like a worthless sack of shit because I can't do anything, and then when I try to do something, it just turns out bad because I can't put my heart into it. It's great. Recommend it.
Highly recommended.
Yeah. If I start Yelp review for depression. So yeah. Uh. But yeah, I did I may be out of the slump. Maybe. I did
Nice.
I did the recording for two more videos. And after that, I think I may take a break. Like I may just not actually work on videos for like a week or two. It depends, because on one hand, I would like to make newer like character cut-ins for the reviews. On the other, I've also hit a roadblock in drawing. So that's
Ah,
yeah. Everything just came together at the right point to make everything suck, as you can tell.
right.
So yeah. So two more videos. Hope like if one of them doesn't come out this week, then they will start. Then there will be two starting next week, and then yeah, after that, who knows? And as for the group
Nice.
channel, this is the last week that we actually have content. So
Nifty.
yeah, so we have fighting games are on Tuesday, and then on Friday we have Hitman, the last part of Hitman 2 that we recorded with W, and that's it.
Ah.
So Pink, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not a lot, not a lot. I watched let me remember the title properly. Spider-Man No Way Home. It's like the one after Far From Home and Homecoming.
Yeah,
So that was a very, very good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
did they do the Peter dance? All three Peters.
Unfortunately, no Peter dances that I can recall immediately. Anyway,
They should have. That should have been
They really should have.
that should have been a bonding moment for the three Peters.
There's probably a deleted scene somewhere of them
Yeah,
doing the Peter dance, but that did not make the what is it called? Theatrical cut.
yeah, that's only in the director's cut.
Yeah. The director's cut is actually just 3 hours of them all doing the Peter dance together.
And then one scene of J. Jonah shooting the Green Goblin, and that's it.
That might have actually been better than the actual film. Yeah, No Way Home, saw that. Really enjoyed it. I thought all the actors gave a very good performance outside of Tobey Maguire, who was just sort of there. Um, I was fairly hyped going into it, but didn't really look into anything regarding it whatsoever. I'm gonna mute myself for just 1 second and close my door.
All right. So as we all know, Tobey Maguire stole the show by merely being there, in Pink's opinion, just as he said. And yeah, I don't know how to fill for time anymore.
I don't know
Okay,
what you said there, but I agree with it wholeheartedly.
see, I told you.
uh, let's see. What was I talking about? The actors and their performances. Toby was there, which, it's cool to have him back because, obviously he was his first Spider-Man. But eh, I don't know where I'm going with this. I wasn't a big fan of Toby, so it
I
didn't mean
mean,
a lot to me to
the
have
only
him
real
come back.
reason, reason they could have, or there's two reasons that I think bringing Toby back uh, could have been justified. One of them is obviously to bring back his villains because his villains were good, which
Yeah,
obviously they utilized, and also for the memes. Like if if they didn't just basically pay Tobey Maguire to reprise the memes from the first three Spider-Man movies,
yeah,
then they kind of wasted him.
yeah. But yeah, I was a little skeptical going into it way back in the day when they announced, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have all the Spider-Man and all the Spider-Man villains." It's like that's a potential recipe for disaster. But I had hopes. I had hopes, and they actually paid off. So any fears that I had going into it were quashed by the end of the film. Everything was set up very nicely. It
And then
didn't
Benedict
ever feel convoluted or lose the plot.
and then Benedict Cumberbatch showed up and summoned four different versions of Venom.
And all of them were played by, oh wow, his name escapes me because he's so bland and forgettable.
Which one?
Uh,
Wasn't one of them played by like Ed Hardy or something? I don't remember.
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
That's
Tom
the one I
Hardy.
was thinking of. I remembered the well, I did remember the guy's name until I forgot just now because that's how my brain works. But no, I forgot about Tom Hardy or forgot his name rather. I remember the guy. I just don't like him, so I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Um, he actually does make a cameo in the end credits sequence, which, having not seen the Venom films, that end sequence or end credit sequence didn't make any sense whatsoever to me, but it happened.
I mean
Tom Hardy was there.
the end sequence of Venom was him being transported into No Way Home or whatever this one was. I forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting.
Like I haven't seen a Marvel movie since Infinity War, but I know all of the end sequences because the good thing about not giving a fuck about being spoiled is that I know everything. No, I mean not really. Like I actually there's only literally one scene that I could tell you from this movie, but still.
Right, right. I mean, the way that society works nowadays is that if a Marvel movie comes out, the end credit sequence will likely be leaked online and plastered all over the YouTube front page before anything about the film actually comes out. So that's the world we live in. Anyway, all the villains they brought back. didn't get equal amounts of screen time between them all, but for the what little screen time some of them did get, they were all very good, very fun. I loved Electro because I'm a big fan of Jamie Foxx, and they kind of just let him be Jamie Foxx for this film, and it fit. It was nice. It didn't feel like we were hamstrung along with anything because it's just Jamie being Jamie and kind of eating up the scenes that he's in. It, contrary to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where nothing about that character felt right and everything felt off, but nothing about that film felt right because it was all completely off.
I mean, is he eating the scenery with his hands or with a fork and knife?
Fork and knife, fork and knife. I loved Otto Octavius. That was a very fun character, and they wrote him and directed him in a way where it made sense. And despite him being a Spider-Man villain, they don't shoehorn him into that role because about midway through the film and towards the end, the climax, they have him do his face turn because they deactivate the corrupt chip from the second Spider-Man film that was causing him to go crazy. So it was cool that they were both able to keep the continuity while also providing a Doctor Octopus threat early on. I thought they handled all that very well. And Sandman as well. He was one of the Raimi villains who is kind of a villain, but also sort of not really sometimes. And he starts off as an ally of sorts, and then only towards the end, when it's like every man for himself trying to complete their own objectives, is when he goes off into the villainous path because he's sort of forced into that role. So
And then
none of their villainous tactics felt cheap or shoehorned in. So I give massive props to the writing team for that.
does Sandman get beaten like he did in the the first time the Sinister Six assembled?
By getting sucked up in a vacuum cleaner?
No, he lured Spider-Man into a like a vacuum sealing box, I guess, or something like that. It was like a room where there was no air, and then he locked the room and suffocated. And
Sounds
Spider-Man
like Sandman.
Spider-Man just walked out.
That's a big problem with Sandman. There, he's so powerful that they had to come up with all these convoluted ways of actually beating him.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive props to the writing team on how they handled the villains because everything felt very natural. Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe, he's like 97 years old at this point. He still looks the same as he did 20 years ago, and he's still a phenomenal actor. So massive props to him.
Didn't he like get choke slammed out of a building, like shoot
Yeah,
for this
they
movie?
wrestled all over the building.
Yeah. That's the one scene that I
Hurt
heard about.
piranhas, choke slams, tombstone pile drivers.
Yeah, that's the one scene that I heard about. That people were like, no, Willem, you can do all of the stunts, and he was like, Tombstone.
You can't hit a Canadian destroyer through the ceiling of this 97-story building. Willem sips his tea and then goes, "Watch me," and then does it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
Willem,
thought he
you can
was.
do the hot punch on Spider-Man. He'll die.
He'll die. Watch me. Yeah, he was great. He was a real standout in the film. Probably could not have picked a better villain for this film, so I was very happy with the end results there. Um, I've already talked about not Tom Holland because he's one of the ones I haven't talked about. I already talked about Tobey Maguire. I've not yet touched up on Tom or Andrew. Tom Holland, I felt gave one of his better performances as Peter Parker in this film. I don't know if it was any better than the previous films, but it certainly wasn't any worse.
I've
He's
only seen
a
him in Infinity War, so I can't comment really. on how he was
Yeah, I think he's a
otherwise.
very capable actor, but at the same time, he can get very samey. Were you gonna elaborate? Because I kind of thought I cut you off there.
Oh no,
All right, I'll move off from Tom because that's kind of been said and done in the past. But bring back Andrew Garfield. Garfield
gotta feel the
was yeah. Andrew Garfield to me was the absolute highlight of the film because he absolutely robs every scene he's in. Not in a bad way. It's he's just phenomenal, and the stuff they gave him to work with, he completely knocks out of the park. He he had me feeling emotions before he was even delivering his lines, and
but Pink.
Andrew Garfield is just
Is
a.
it just because he looks like Adam Lambert?
I don't know who Adam Lambert. Wait, I do know who Adam Lambert is. Do they actually look alike? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll
I
have to
just
look into
like
that.
I remember the hair. Adam Lambert definitely used to have
Yeah,
the
the
same
hair is
hair.
nice and fluffy, but I don't think their faces were quite the same.
I don't know. Everyone looks the same to me, Pink.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm
Fair
pretty
enough.
face blind.
But yeah, I thought Andrew Garfield was just delivering the absolute best performances of his career, and I say that having only seen his Spider-Man films, so I can't really say anything further. But he was definitely made to like do drama type roles because he can convey emotion like nobody's business, and I don't really pick up on emotion all that often because I'm broken inside. But yeah,
Intel
he
broken inside.
was he was phenomenal. One could say he was amazing. And I think that will wrap up my thoughts on No Way Home for now because there's a lot I could get into, but not a lot of it is totally relevant to what we're talking about today, which is just a podcast.
Yeah, and I can't really
Moving.
comment on stuff because I've been skipping the Marvel movies, so I have no
Yeah,
point of
yeah.
reference.
Yep, yep. So outside of seeing No Way Home, I didn't do much other than play 2K22 some more. I've had a lot of fun times with that. Control schemes are still pretty decent. Don't think I prefer it over the prior 2K19 controls because there's just so much more it felt like you could do in those games. But at the same time, some of the controls in 2K22 are just feel so streamlined and fluid and nice that it's hard to say which one I prefer. I'd like I wish I could have the best of both worlds, but I obviously can't. Have been playing through universe mode a lot, and I've had some funny glitches with that because at one point, there was a pay per view in the universe mode, and the main event was Liv Morgan versus Raquel Gonzalez for the WWE Women's Championship. So Liv comes out, and then Becky Lynch comes out to defend her WWE Women's Championship that she doesn't actually have. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's just a graphical glitch and it's gonna
No, it's
not transport.
the game is being telepathically possessed by Vince.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, maybe it's just a graphical error. It says it's Becky Lynch, but when the match starts, it'll actually be Raquel Gonzalez in the ring. Nope, nope. Becky just sort of stole the title that night and decided to go defend it and subsequently lose it as well. So that's a nifty championship history right there. Raquel Gonzalez defeats Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's Championship, and then in her first title defense against Liv Morgan, she can't actually defend the title because Becky
No,
Lynch
no,
has
she
decided that she's going to defend the title for her.
no she lost the title dressed as Becky Lynch.
Ah, makes sense.
If you beat the
Yeah,
champion, you
that
take their
that
soul.
explains it. Yeah, but that's been one of the most notable bugs or glitches I've come across is people defending titles that they don't actually have for no real reason and booking themselves into championship matches. It was just weird. Uh Major gripe though with the game is I said the gameplay feels very fluid and streamlined. That is a case in one-on-one matches with no weapons involved whatsoever. if you play a match with more than two participants, it gets to be quite the mess. And if you play a match with weapons, the weapons physics and the weapons attacks in this game are probably the worst they've been in years. Chair shots are super slow. They have a ridiculous wind up, and they like don't hit for any damage because they took away my beloved damage weapon damage sliders. I can't even turn that up all the way. They don't have finisher sliders either, so if you want to have your finish be the actual finish, then you shouldn't be hitting a finisher until 20 minutes into the match, but that's beside the point. Back to the weapons, the physics of the ladder. Yeah, well, they gave us the ability to place the ladder anywhere we want again, so that's cool. But if you walk into the ladder, it's just gonna collapse and tip over, and you're gonna have to set it up
Yeah,
again. And
I've seen. I've seen
it's
videos. Yeah.
it's poop. It's garbage. I hate it. These weapons, they're oh good lord, it's such a massive step backward and
We
such
need
a
SVR 2011 back.
yeah. That was the best for weapons physics. I will die on that hill.
I mean that was
Uh,
the thing that they advertised for that game.
Yeah, that was a big selling point there, and it was
That and
freaking awesome.
funnily enough, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, yeah. It's like weapon physics, Rey Mysterio, and that was the year they introduced universe mode. So that was those were their big selling points. And
Yeah,
by God, those weapon physics were incredible. I'm on the back.
I I still really like how Rey Mysterio's story is I am surrounded by people who smoke weed.
It's accurate. All of them. Rob Van Dam, Evan Bourne, Jack Swagger, every last one of them.
Yeah,
Busted for a not DUI, but what would you
WI
call it?
wrestling under the influence.
Yeah, right. Busted for weed possession.
Yeah,
Each and every one of them. Oh, that's hilarious. I hadn't put that I hadn't put those pieces together in my mind, but now that you mention it, yeah, that's completely accurate.
yeah,
Funny how life works out.
yeah. One of these years, we can like if I can get the set up properly. One of these years for 420, we'll just play through that road to WrestleMania,
Awesome.
and then we can also paint our Ray's attire to be weed green.
Even better. I like how that's gonna be a specific shade. We
Yeah.
got a nice like ivy green over here, and then we look over this way, and we got a nice weed green over there.
Yeah, that's the color that I'm forgetting the name of the new Pokemon, the Weed Cat.
We can.
Have you not heard about the Weed Cat?
I've seen the weed cat, but I outside of that, I haven't really looked all that much into it.
I've had to see the Weed Cat a lot recently, mainly because of either like it was people posting, man, the Weed Cat from Pokemon, and then people going, yo, can we stop making porn about the Weed Cat from Pokemon?
Mm. Yeah, I kept seeing memes about how they didn't want Weed Cat to become a bipedal in its final evolution, like Incineroar. But outside of that, I'm not super in touch with the Pokemon community,
Me
so
neither.
I
There's just too much
yeah yeah
crossover with the furries.
yeah that's what I was assuming. But I have no such crossovers in my little Twitter timeline or anything like that, so I don't see all that kinds of stuff. Just the massive outcry to keep the front paws on the ground, which is, I think it's a stupid stance to take. We've
Yeah.
got with the way Pokemon's evolve, I'm not gonna get hung up on one becoming bipedal for no reason.
Yeah, and also a lot like even outside of the people being weird with those designs, like Lucario is cool, and that's partially because it's bipedal. Like,
Right.
that's pretty much what it comes down to for me is that like a lot of a lot of bipedal Pokemon are cool and are cool because they are bipedal. Cause like
Right.
imagine a normal like more feral looking Lucario. It's just not as
Mhm.
it's not it doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah. Combine that with the fact that they've been running a concurrent anime for like the past 20 years. It's just bipedal Pokemon are probably a lot easier for the animators to, animate
Ah, yeah.
because they don't have to draw them on all fours down below Ash's kneecaps.
Nah, Pink, it's fine. All of them just fly from now. None of them have legs or hands. They're all
Yeah,
they're all
they made it
Voltorb.
really easy
They're
with the
all
animators.
Voltorb.
All Voltorbs. Dude, I'd watch the crap out of a Voltorb show. Every other episode ends on a self-destruct. That'd be freaking awesome.
I think that was a thing in Hey You Pikachu.
Self-destruct?
Well, no, I think Voltorb had its own show in Hey You Pikachu, but I'm
Ah.
but self-destruct as well maybe. Like I think Pikachu might have blown up the TV if you were bad if you were like not nice to it or something.
What a classic that game was.
But yeah, so 2K22.
All right, thank you for reminding me because I had to take a second there to be like, what were we even talking about that led to
We
Voltorb
were
self-destructing?
we are talking about Michael Cole becoming bipedal.
Right. Oh, we were talking about weed. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Um, SVR 2K22. The weapons physics, they're ass. I'm not a fan. It's agony, and I played a Money in the Bank ladder match once, and that was hot garbage right there. But if you crawl out of the ring and just wait for everyone else to kill themselves and then go set up the ladder and climb and cheese it, it's not so bad. But if you're actually playing the game, no, it's misery. Not a fan. Not a fan. Outside of those complaints, still really enjoying my time in 2K22. Still having a lot of fun. Still think a lot of the control changes were moderately for the better. At the same time, there are a lot of decisions they made that are just pants on head stupid. Where are my Irish whips? Why do I have to enter a grapple headlock state in order to do it? It's dumb.
I mean
It's
that's kind of how it used to be in like '06 as well. Wasn't it like four different buttons to do an Irish whip?
in SVR 06, you would press the circle and triangle button at the same time to Irish whip. In 2K22, as you hit the circle button or B button equivalent to enter a grapple state, and then you would hit the B button again to do an Irish whip. So it doesn't flow seamlessly like 2006 did, which is an embarrassing statement. Because, yeah, you had to press two buttons, but they were two buttons simultaneously, and it would pop off an Irish whip lickety split. In 2K22, it's you're entering a grapple state, which is like, think back to Here Comes the Pain, where you press the circle button to enter a grapple state and then press the circle button in a direction in order to hit a grapple move like a suplex or something. It's more like Here Comes the Pain, except you're entering a grapple state to throw out an Irish whip, which looks janky as all
Yeah, like
hell.
like No
And
Mercy.
yeah, like No Mercy. Yeah, it looks janky, it
I mean,
looks bad,
people
it
have been
feels
saying that
bad.
they want No Mercy back for how long? So
Yeah, they're wrong.
here you have it.
Here you have it. Here's an attempt.
Not even a good one,
Uh,
just an attempt.
it's an attempt, that is to be sure. So yeah, there were a lot of aspects gameplay wise, match playing wise that are massive steps backward. The matches themselves, if you're looking for a simulation title, 2K19 is one for you. Because in 2K22, it's a fun game. Matches don't play out the way they would on TV. It's not visually representative of that by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, it's not terribly different. It's just a lot more arcade and comparable to 2K14 than it is to the simulation aspects of 2K19. So it's fun. It's oftentimes very janky to look at, but when it's smooth, it's like buttery smooth and feels very good. So I got a lot of praises for 2K22. I've also got a lot of massive nitpicks, but all in all, very fun game. Still playing it a lot, still enjoying it a lot. And that wraps up everything I did this week. So, how was your week?
Well, I didn't do a whole lot either, really. Uh,
Mm.
let's see. My family took me to the zoo,
Ooh.
I guess. Uh, I don't even know what to really point out there. We went to a zoo that I don't even like. Yeah, we went to a zoo that's a bit farther away, so they had like they have a bigger budget,
Yeah.
and my mom got to see a toucan for the first time.
Oh,
She didn't think they existed.
those are just cereal mascots.
No, not even that over here. They're just like cartoon animals. They don't exist. Freaking one of the alpacas got really fixated on me for some reason, and we don't know why.
Was he squaring up?
I don't know. But like according to my sister, it was smiling while looking at me, and it followed me with its head. So I don't know.
that's that's interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a fine time. I didn't get to see raccoons because they were sleeping, and that was sad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I spent the whole time going, I want to see raccoons, and they were they weren't there. Oh,
Yeah.
I did see some live wrestling though because they had I forget what type of monkeys they were, but they had monkeys on their own island, and they had this house, but it might as well have been a wrestling ring, and a guy did like, one of the monkeys did like a headlock takedown on the other, so that was funny.
That's radical.
Yeah. What else? Well, um, one of the games that I've been working on a review of is the Star Wars game that I got last week. So
Yeah.
I played through that again, and now I can exactly tell you what my problems are in 2 weeks. No, but no, I wrote the review, and it's mostly just me going, "Hey, I don't like Souls games. It's kind of like a Souls game, but not really, which makes it kind of worse. But it's fine. Like if you like the thing is like the game is not for me. If someone like actually likes Souls games or Star Wars enough to overlook the Souls parts, then they will probably enjoy it because it's not a bad game. I'm just like I just straight up don't like how Souls games are designed, and freaking I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars because of overexposure at this point.
Yeah.
Like so, depending on when you ask me, I will tell you that I hate it outright just because of overexposure.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, so that what else? I did finish my second playthrough of Biomutant, and I didn't manage to get the bad ending, even though I tried. Because you need to like you need to actually like ally with the people who are evil, and you need to fucking genocide people and shit like that to actually get the bad ending seemingly. Because I played very like anti heroically, so like
Oh.
I did good things, but I also did bad things, and it roughly balanced out, and that wasn't bad enough apparently. And yeah, that game like that game is a solid 7 out of 10. Like high 6, low 7 out of 10. Where like it's not a game that I would like be like, hey, everybody fucking needs to play this game, but I enjoy it. It's fine. Like it's a game that I will probably go back to in bursts. But
Yeah.
it's also been a bit too much to go through it twice back to back. Because it is still an RPG, like an action
Yeah,
RPG made
yeah.
today. So
I can feel that.
but it is like actually Mike might enjoy it, and people like Mike might enjoy it because there actually like legitimately is no um like there's no tethers to the story. Like the story like there is a story that the game follows, but you can take it at pretty much any way that you want because one part that I guess I forgot to talk about properly last week is how the story is two like there's two major storylines, and then also the side stories for other stuff. But you can choose which major storyline you want to do first, or you can just choose to do neither. Really, like you can ignore the main story as much as you can ignore the side stories. You can just walk anywhere, and the only thing that stops you from actually doing that is the biome system. So, like, because I played through the game and got my character to be resistant to everything, I could legitimately just go anywhere and do any mission that I wanted, no matter the order, more or less. Like, as long as I actually find the mission or know where the mission starts, I can go and do it.
Oh.
So there's things that like I won't appreciate as much, because that sort of design is not something that I really look for in games, but I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's video games, I think. Um, as I said, I hit an art block. Actually, you know what? No, first I'm gonna post this because I thought it was a funny picture. So let me see where to put this. I don't know. Whatever. I'll put it into the text with the cursed Sonic.
So that is in recording. There it is.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. Ping. This could be us. I just need to ship myself out. How do you feel?
I'm not sure how to feel.
I mean, chances are you're not actually any shorter than I am. So, because like you know how high you are, but that was a bad way to put it. You know your height. You know,
I'm very well aware of how high I am.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, uh, you know your height, but I don't. Like I
Yeah.
don't know mine. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So I've hit on a bit of an art block, but I still made this scribble because hey, I'm trying to work through it. I just don't know how. Like that's what sucks is like this point of being stuck with drawing shit, because I literally know that I'm not improving because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just doing things wrong, and I can tell. But yeah, so yeah, I did make this scribble. I put it into art.
Uh, with greater acceleration.
Yeah,
What even is that?
that's Sonic.
Oh!
I mean, I took the first version of the movie design as a basis because I wanted to make it as cursed as possible. A funny thing about this is that I see some people complain about how drawing like just drawing head-on shots is harder in general, and I don't know. Like, I guess I just have more experience with doing this, but because this is easier for me than actually drawing things in like 3/4 and stuff like that. But yeah, this so yeah, this is a thing, I guess.
It is certainly a thing.
And yeah, as for the other thing that I drew, well, I did make this avatar like last week, but I also was unsatisfied with it because no matter what I tried with the shading I used on Zenyatta, it just felt like it feels muddy to me. I don't know about you. Just stop putting these logos. I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna post everywhere. I'm gonna spam posts everywhere. But yeah,
Every different channel we can find, we're gonna shove a picture in there. It'll be all right.
yeah. But yeah, so I made this version as like a holdover until I can actually get through the art block. I I
Right.
went I
Yeah.
went I went in harder on the freaking on the fur detail, and I don't know how I feel about it, but it's not as muddy. that's
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing. But yeah, I just don't like. I just don't know how to actually how I could actually proceed with getting better. Because like I see like instant clown posse. No, like I look at other people's art and I go, hey, that looks nice, and I try to identify the parts that actually make me think it's nice. But it's usually like it does usually come down to like things like shading or coloring, which like coloring I don't fucking know how I'm supposed to be better at coloring anymore. But
Yeah.
like the thing I notice is that I like when people's like coloring or shading have texture to them, but I don't know how to do the texture without it looking like shit. So that's a thing. That's a thing, just in general.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Because like yeah, like I look at other people's art and I go, hey, this is the part that I like. Here's what I can tell they did to reach this point, and then I try to do it, and it just sucks. So yeah. So I don't know. Do you have any like advice on how to improve? I guess.
I not really, and especially not with coloring because I'm not any good at coloring myself. But for art, it's just a matter of keep drawing. Eventually, you get better. It's a lame answer. Unfortunately, it's the only answer I've come across in my time as an artist.
I mean, it is the all encompassing answer that actually does fix things.
Yeah,
So
it's like draw more, use references, draw more. The end.
you'll get that eventually. And if
Eventually.
and if not, you can still land a job at Marvel and just not draw feet. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then did I do anything else of worth? Not really. Hmm. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I guess I'll check if because sometimes I save topics for the podcast, but I don't know if I actually have any of them saved. Oh yeah, we never did finish the thing about Elden Ring and Horizon Zero Dawn. I guess we could discuss that if you want.
I feel like that'd be a better topic to have with Alex here because he's actually familiar with those games. I see Horizon and Elden Ring and I look at the titles and I'm like, what is that?
Horizon is a Ubisoft game, not made by Ubisoft, pretty much. At least the first one was. I don't know about the second.
Eh.
That's pretty much why I dislike it too. But yeah, I guess we'll save it for next week if we remember. If
All right.
so, yeah, I guess that was the podcast.
All right.
So, Pink,
Sounds good. Yeah.
eat a car,
Eat a car? What, that's asking a little much for me.
but you're pink, like Kirby. That means you have the same powers.
I don't know about that. I don't know that Kirby gets his power from just being pink. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like there's got to be a bit more to it.